What is up, guys? Welcome to the 14th episode of the Trackside Girls podcast, season 3. Um, we got a decent amount to go over. Um, INDYCAR was on the Indy Road Course, and then NASCAR trucks and Cup were in Kansas, which, if you didn't know, both of us were at Kansas um, this past weekend. Um, but there was no Formula One, I don't believe. So we're gonna knock out the IndyCar um, recap. For practice one, Alex Palou was fastest. Um, Practice two, Graham Rahal was fastest. So, out of group one, that moved on to the 12 that competed for the Fast Six. Pato Award, Alexander Rossi, Felix Rosenquist, Santino Ferrucci, Louis Foster, and Kevin Simpson. From Group 2, Alex Palou, Devlin DeFrancesco, Will Power, Graham Rahal, Scott McLaughlin, and Joseph Newgarden. The sixth that moved on to the Firestone Fast Six, Alex Palou, Graham Rahal, Louis Foster, Devlin DeFrancesco, Joseph Newgarden, and Scott McLaughlin. The one to get pole was Alex Palou. For the warm-up, Joseph Newgarden was fastest. In the race, the podium, again, it's Alex Palou domination for this season. He won the race, leading 29 laps. Graham Rahal leading 49 of them, and Marcus Armstrong leading 6. But the podium was Alex Palou, Pato Award, and Will Power as top 3. Or we're gonna go ahead and move on to NASCAR. Or Kansas. The good old timeline. It was William Byron to the rear for a radiator change and Nathan Bird for unapproved adjustments, but it was Jake Garcia to get truck pole with Corey Heim on the outside. Lap 4, Dawson Sutton spins entering pit road with a flat tire. They get going again, Corey Heim leading Raja Caruth on the outside. Lap 23, Luke Baldwin makes contact with the wall between turns 1 and 2, suffering a flat right front tire. Restart is just for a couple laps until the end of the stage, but it's Corey Heim leading Raja Caruth on the outside. It is Corey Heim to win stage 1. Raja Caruth second, Grant Enfinger third, Carson Hocevar fourth, and Chandler Smith fifth. On the restart, Corey Heim on the inside, Raja Caruth on the outside. It is green until lap 51. Cody Dennison suffers a flat left rear tire and spins, entering turn 1. The restart, Carson Hocevar leads on the inside, Grant Enfinger on the outside. And Carson Hocevar wins stage 2. Second, Elaine Riggs. Grant Enfinger third, William Byron fourth, and Daniel Hamrick fifth. On the restart, Carson Hocevar leading on the inside, Lane Riggs on the outside. It is green until lap 97. Connor Mozak slows to pit. Frankie Muniz moves to avoid him, but spins into the front stretch grass. Leading again, Carson Hocevar on the inside, William Byron on the outside. Lap 110, Bailey Curry spins off of turn 2 from 8th. Connor Mozak gets trapped by Chandler Smith, but also spins down the backstretch. Restart, Carson Hocevar on the inside, William Byron on the outside. And it is green until the end. Lane Riggs actually runs Carson into the wall on the final lap. But they recover, and Carson takes the win by 0.262 seconds, where he is driving with one hand because the other hand is stuck out the window, flipping off Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs was disqualified after post-race inspection for an illegal bed cover on his truck. But it was Carson in Victory Lane.
That was a fun time.
Um, So for the Cup race, to the rear, Brad Keselowski, Ty Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, Shane Van Gisbergen, Zane Smith for unapproved adjustments. In practice, um, all of the named had a flat tire. But it was Kyle Larson to get pole, Chris Buescher on the outside. Green until lap 7. AJ Allmendinger slows off of turn 4 after apparently injuring or suffering engine failure. Restart is Kyle Larson on the inside, Christopher Bell on the outside. They are green until the end of stage 1, where Larson wins, followed by Chase Elliott in second, Christopher Bell third, Ryan Blaney fourth, and Austin Cindric fifth. The restart, Kyle Larson on the inside, Chase Elliott on the outside. They are green until the end of stage 2. Kyle Larson gets the stage win. Chase Elliott in second, Ryan Blaney third, Josh Berry fourth, and Christopher Bell fifth. Chase Elliott leading this time on the inside, Kyle Larson on the outside. Is green until lap 195. Brad Keselowski blows a right rear tire from second and hits the wall between turn 1 and 2. The restart, Christopher Bell on the inside, Kyle Larson on the outside. Joey Logano dives between Christopher Bell to make it 3 wide. Ty Dillon gets loose and taps Cody Ware between turns 1 and 2, causing the boat to crash to collect Daniel Suarez. Restart, Kyle Larson leads on the inside, Joey Logano on the outside. Kyle Busch, on this restart, Kyle Busch spins down the backstretch from 13th after contact to bring out another caution. Restart again, Larson on the inside, Joey Logano on the outside. Justin Haley and Corey Heim make contact, battling for 20th, causing Justin Haley to crash into Eric Jones. Bubba Wallace also gets clipped and hits the outside wall. Restart again. Larson on the inside, Christopher Bell on the outside. And so they stay green because Carson saved it. But he got turned into, I don't know if it was Custer. It was some red car. I can't actually. It kind of looks like it says either Haas or Kroger, I can't tell. Um, but either way, he gets turned into a car that's on the outside, and he somehow saves it and straightens the car out even after he basically went like all four wheels off the ground. So, um, but it ends up being Kyle Larson to win by 0.712 seconds over Christopher Bell. So now that we did the race recaps, um, Justin Allgaier is going to be Kyle Larson's reserve driver for All-Star Weekend and the Coke 600 weekend, which we already knew that because it's the same thing that happened last year with Larson running the 500. If you didn't know, for the Indy 500, they actually do qualifying the weekend before um, the Indy 500. So that is why he needs another reserve driver for the All-Star race. Um, is there any little things that we want to talk about that happened in Kansas?
I don't know, the cup race was really boring because of, Kyle Larson show. But it was fun being in victory lane when Carson won.
Yeah, we so obviously like I was doing media, but so Lakota was cheering at the end of the race and one of the like female security guards was like, "Hey, do you want to go in there? You can go in there. Just go stand at the top."
I
So
literally, I literally never knew I could do that. So literally the last time that Corey won, I literally could have been victory lane.
probably.
I didn't know you could do that, actually. Fun fact, I could have also gone in victory lane for Kyle Larson, but I said poo on that because I've seen him win way too many times and I don't need to be in
She
victory
like
lane.
genuinely like the woman came over to offer her a wristband to get into Victory Lane, and she said, "No, I'm good."
I said no thank you. Hard pass. Hard pass. No, really not much to say. But Harrison's driving in the All-Star race for Brickware Racing, and he's already in because he got his Daytona win.
Oh, oh right. It's anyone
Hmm.
who has won in the last season and then this season up to the All-Star race.
Yep, Harrison's driving the 51,
I guess it
which,
would I,
some people are kind of salty about that, but I'm like, bruh, he literally won at Daytona, so he's in, so go away.
yeah, I guess it would make sense because I mean, honestly, you're not gonna transfer in with Cody Ware.
Mm.
It's not gonna happen. So you might as well put in a driver who has won their way into the All-Star race to have better
Yeah.
chances. So,
But also, apparently, it's like the fan vote is apparently a really close battle between Noah and Carson about who's gonna win it, who's
I mean,
automatically gonna make it in.
that was the same way it was last year though.
I know. Apparently, it's like super close. So far, from what I've seen, I think Carson is winning by like a few votes, but I don't think people know like the Noah Gregson like fan base.
Uh,
They're
yeah.
they're they're crazy. I think that's it, honestly.
Um, so I finally went to a Menards the first time I'd ever. So the closest one to where I live, the closest Menards is like Kentucky. So I've never been to a Menards, and I obviously went out to Kansas for the race, and there was a Menards like right across the street from the track, and I'm like, I went into the camper one night, after getting out of the track, and I was like, so what if we just like went to Menards? Like Conan looked at me like, bro, why? And I'm
Kind of
like,
did.
I've never been in a Menards, okay? Like, they sponsor my favorite driver. Like,
True.
so, hello.
I will say it was super funny to watch Sid in Menards. She was geeking out the entire time, which was so funny to me. But
Like,
honestly, it's a mood because I probably would feel the same way. Like if I had never been like to North Carolina or South Carolina, and if you guys had a store that we didn't have, and I wanted to go in, I probably would have geeked out too. But it was so funny to watch you because you were like, "I love it. I, I, I love it." It
I
was
was
so
literally
cool.
so baffled. Like, it was insane. Like, I'm sitting here like, if you're from like the like southeastern area, like, and you've never been into a Menards, the best way I can describe it is like mixing a Lowe's hardware store with an Ingles grocery store. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, I straight up, while I was walking through the Menards, I go, this is like Walmart, but better. So Lakota's mom didn't hear me say that. So she walks up next to us like 45 seconds later and is like telling me like about Menards and stuff. And then she goes, it's like Walmart, but better. Same word for word what I said. I'm like,
You
bro,
wanna you wanna also tell them what you discovered
what did I say?
about the paint section?
Oh, I I never knew what Dutch boy was. Like, I know that it is on the hood of Ryan Blaney's car whenever he runs like a Menards paint scheme.
Gosh.
But I'm like looking around the store and I see the big words, the like really pretty blue with Dutch boy on it. I'm like, wait a second, Dutch boy's paint? Like, and then we found root beer with Brandon Jones's face on it.
True. I'd
Like,
show it, but both
it's in
those
the
bottles
camper.
are upstairs.
Oh, you
Well,
brought them in. You
no.
brought them in. Or
Well,
the
no.
open
Okay, so
ones.
the two are out in the camper, but then the two that I basically chugged down, yours and mine,
Bro,
um, they're upstairs. I need to wash them out because I'm gonna put them down here.
so I
I just
I
gotta-
I said to Lakota and I was like, bro, I just want to try it. Like I have no confidence in myself that I'm gonna be able to finish an entire one. But like I just like I don't normally drink root beer. Like it's not really my thing, but I just wanted to try it because it Brandon Jones had it on his truck in Kansas, and then his face is on the bottle. Like it has the ARCA logo on it. I just want to try it. Okay. She proceeds to open an entire bottle and put it in front of me, and then goes to
Yep,
open her own bottle to drink.
yep.
And so I'm sitting here and I'm like drinking it like consistently. And I'm sitting here thinking that I've already drank like a third of the bottle. I haven't even made it like down the like barely to the bottom of the neck of the bottle.
That's okay. I chugged all mine down and then I literally chugged all yours down, so it was fine.
Like,
I was living life with that root beer.
and then so my reaction to that root beer was like if you guys have ever had the bottle caps candy, like the root beer flavored ones, like exactly the same. Like that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Oh my gosh. That's actually too funny though.
But yeah,
It's okay.
like besides seeing a new track and like visiting somewhere. Menards was the like highlight of my weekend. Like
I'm so glad I could thrill you and take you to Menards. Honestly,
like
Menards really is something special, but I think it's also because I've been there so many times that I'm like, it's normal to me. Whereas you, it was like a whole new experience. You're like,
I wish
I love
I
it.
wish I had like it recorded like my reaction to Menards. Like I got a picture outside of in front of Menards because I'm just because.
I have the pictures to prove it because it's so funny. I kind of love it though. It was great. I honestly, I think my I think my favorite moment was literally when Daniel Hemrick pointed out my Snoopy tattoo.
Oh yes, during the bro, we gotta talk about high limit.
Dude, oh yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
Friday
wait, here's
night.
a backstory. I always try and go to 81 Speedway, which is my track that's here, but it always gets rained out because it's in the middle of May. And if you guys don't know, it likes to rain a lot in Kansas in the middle of May. And the last two times that my dad and I have gone, it literally got canceled. And they don't reschedule it, but they'll reschedule it literally every other track. But not mine, which I get because it's just Kansas and we're not that great. Okay,
But
now.
so Friday night, I had to end up missing the ARCA race because I had to meet up with them, because they had finally made it to the track and I had to like figure out where we were staying and stuff like that. So
Finally.
we ended up going out to Lakeside Speedway, um, to go watch High Limit. And we got the regular like general admission tickets and we were sitting here and the like there was a guy watching the gate that went down to the pits and then he's telling everybody that's going through there like, oh, you gotta have a wristband, you gotta have a wristband. And I'm like, so I went over to him like, okay, so how does one get one of these wristbands? He's like, well, you just walk back around to the other entrance of the pits and go upgrade your ticket. And I'm like, okay, bet. Like he and somebody next to him was like, "It's like $10 to upgrade your ticket. Like it's worth it. Like go do it." And so we were like, "Bet. Like let's go." So prior to this, we were going through like the little merch hauler thingies. Raja Caruth hanging out. So excited. He went up to Casey Kane's merch hauler, bought him some stuff, bought him a little diecast card, which you've probably seen on his social media. Um, And so we saw him there. We were chatting with Casey's wife. Um, and so we go, but fast forward, we go down, get our ticket upgraded. We walk into the pits. Um, when we're walking through there, first person we see, Ty Gibbs.
Yeah.
Like Lakota, I'm like looking around because like I'm from like I go to Millbridge a lot, so CB Industries, they run a lot of cars out in Millbridge. So I recognize their logo, I recognize the font that they use on their cars, things like that. And I'm like, oh, that's a CB car. And then turns out it was Ty Gibbs running a CB car at high limit. So, so I'm sitting there and like you from afar you couldn't really tell like who the guy was until we got up on him and then
Not gonna say it kind of took you and I a hot minute to figure out it was Ty, and then we were like, "Oh, it's Ty."
but yeah, so we went up to Ty. Like obviously Lakota's got to get a picture. Ty's her boy or one of her boys. um
One of the multiple many boys that I have clearly.
so we like take the picture and I'm like I'm curious about something because like the amount of times that I've been at a track and like I interact with these people like I want to know what like if these more famous drivers recognize me, okay? But so obviously, like I see them like multiple weeks in a row. So I'm curious, like if these like famous drivers like recognize me or know who I am. And so like Lakota gets done taking her picture and like Ty's like looking at me as if like I'm gonna take a picture. And but like I was just like, do you do you recognize me? Like, and then he like no doubt. It did not sound like any doubt was in his voice, and he's like, "Yeah, I know you." He's like, "Yeah,
True.
I recognize you."
I can attest to this.
And I'm like, "Okay, that's all. I just wanted to know because like I was just curious because like I see you guys all the time, but I didn't know if like you guys like registered like if you saw me all the time." So, but so we saw Ty. Um, we waited on Casey Kane to get back to his pit stall little thingy. Um, and
So
Raja, as soon as Casey pulled up, got off his little pit bike, Raja like first one over there, like beat me over there.
the
Like
man booked it. He was behind us, which I thought was the funniest thing
yeah.
ever. He
And
was
so
talking to his group. He was literally with his friends, and the man is like in front of us, and we're like, "How?
where did you
Where did
come
you come
from?
from?" Yeah.
But so Casey's over there talking to his crew guys, and Raja's standing like 3 feet in front of me, and then Lakota's standing behind me. And Casey like looks past his crew guys and sees Raja and then starts heading over. And I'm like, Raja, look, he's coming over here for you. He saw you. Like, I'm like so excited for Raja because Raja's a big fan of Casey. It, Raja's never met Casey. So
Yeah,
obviously I'm
we got to witness Raja meeting Casey for the first time that night.
yeah.
It was so funny.
So I'm like standing back. I'm letting like them do their thing because like I'm gonna let Raja have his moment. Um, and then as Casey starts to go away, like I'm like, oh my God, he's not gonna come over here to us when I literally made eye contact with him when like and so I have to call him over and so we get him over there, like we get pictures with him and I ask him and I'm like, I don't know if you remember me, but like I saw you a couple weeks ago at Rockingham and I'm like, how'd you like it? Like, did you have fun? And then um but like that, so I asked him about Rockingham before I told him that I saw him, like that I was there. And like he told me he's like I loved it, like it was so great. I want to go back there again, like type thing. And I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but like we met at like we met there. Like he's like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like we met in the garages and you said that you liked my shirt." And then he's like, and then it kind of like dawned in his head, and he's like, "Oh, that like you're her," like type thing. And so I I made the comment like I tried to get Casey to spill all his secrets, okay? I was like, "So, I heard you're gonna run more Xfinity races. Do you confirm or deny?" Um,
Rude.
like I wanted to know because like, bro, no. And then he just he was like, I don't know, and like started like chuckling and laughing and walking away. Like so like hopefully Casey comes back because like I would love to see him back in over here occasionally, you know? But then there was that. So whenever we were walking into the pits initially, um Corey Day was riding by on a little pit bike. Um, and that was one of the drivers that Lakota wanted to meet. Um, because
Mm.
I saw Corey in Rockingham and I told him about Lakota and I was like, Lakota tried to meet you at Martinsville, but you were always on a golf cart and she never got the chance to meet you. So we're trying, like, we're trying to get her, like, to meet you, you know?
Like with my
And
like one request.
yeah. That was like her one goal, really, of the night. Like Casey was kind of a bonus, and then Ty was like really left field. Like, um,
I mean, like, I got a notification that, like, I mean, I kind of figured Ty would be there, but at the same time, I'm like, no
is he
shot
really
that
gonna
Ty will
show
out.
up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but so we're like, okay, we still have yet to see Corey come back. Let's go see if he was heading in the direction of his merch hauler. Maybe he's out there. We get to the merch hauler. They're packing everything up. He's not there. I see out of the corner of my eye whenever we're heading back to the pits, um, a little pit bike sitting next to like a little RV looking motor coach. I'm like, wait a second. Is that not the bike that Corey was on when he was riding by us? Sure enough, you can see with the way this little RV thingy was set up, you could look through the windshield and you could see whoever was sitting at the little dining room table area. So you look through this windshield, and sure enough, Corey Day is sitting at this table inside the motor coach.
Yep.
So we're like, oh dang. So
We're like, we should just go up there, knock on the door, and be like, Corey, we know
yeah,
you're in there.
we were messing around. We're like, bro, we should just go over there, knock on the door, like type thing.
We
But
did,
obviously,
we didn't do
like
that. Don't
we
worry.
did not do that. We're like
We thought about it.
we have
We did it.
respect, okay? Like we're
We do.
so we just head back to his little his car hauler in the pit area and just hang out, and he's got to come back at some point because he's got a race, right? So finally him and his girlfriend pull back up on the little pit bike, and we call him over before he starts heading off to do his whole thing. Um
Right, so, oh, like,
and so I'm like, "Hey, Corey, can she get a picture?" Um and he's like, "Yeah, of course." Like, so Lakota gets his picture, and I'm like, "I don't know if you remember, um, but I told you at Rockingham that I had a friend named Lakota that um like wanted to meet you, that missed you at Martinsville." And like after I started giving him more details, he was like, "Oh wait, yeah. Like I do remember that." Um and I'm like, "Okay, well this is Lakota. This is the one that wanted to meet you." And then he's like, "Well, I'm glad. I'm glad like he finally got to meet me." Like
freaking kidding. It only took a little bit of time, but it's fine.
but yeah, High Limit was sick. Like um
I got hit in the face by dirt. Also, I'm pretty sure I got two cuts on my knees from the dirt. It's fine. I was like, I noticed the cuts on my knees. I was like, that has to be from that because there ain't no other
oh,
way the way it's at.
let's talk about my injury of of the weekend. Um, so during the truck race, um, I was out in turn one taking pictures. I didn't realize until after the fact that one of the trucks blew a tire. But before this, I I'm standing in turn one and I just get pelted with this big piece of what I assume was rubber right to my thigh. And I'm wearing pants. So like I have like some type of like barrier there at least. And I get hit and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm in so much pain." Like I am almost to the point I'm limping like back to the infield.
Sid
And
literally texted me and she said, "Turn one is not for the weak."
it was rough. Like so I wake up the next day and there is a huge bruise, like bigger than the size of a golf ball
Oh yeah.
on my thigh. In the
Oh,
center of this bruise, like whatever I got hit by broke my skin.
oh yeah. It's bad.
Yet, so I want to say yesterday it was dark purple, and then now it finally turned the yellow.
I mean, it'll heal up nicely. Because, I mean, if it's
Like,
already yellow, then you're almost there.
yeah. But I like that was rough. Like I've never gotten like majorly hit by anything like while I'm out shooting on the fence. But so that was the first time that anything ever has like that has ever happened to me. I'm glad that it
Like,
hit like somewhere like my leg rather than like busting my face open. Like
I mean,
I would
it's true.
I feel like something like that would have literally knocked me out if it hit me in the face.
Probably. Since, like, I'm never coming back to Kansas again because I got injured.
Like I'm 100% never shooting on the fence at, at Kansas anymore. Like the cup race, I was thinking about it and I was like, man, but like cup pictures like would be so cool out there. Then I'll remember and I was like, bro, absolutely not. I
You'd
no,
have you'd have a matching bruise on your other leg, or if
yeah.
not, it would hit the same bruise knowing you.
I would start crying. Like
Gosh.
genuinely like that it was I was in a lot of pain like whenever like it first initially happened. But it makes a lot of sense because like if you see the bruise, like it's probably like comparatively, it's probably about that big.
Yeah.
So it's a hefty like injury.
It looks like someone just like grabbed like the end of a baseball bat and just like jammed you with it in your leg, honestly.
Yeah. It's pretty huge.
It's not like we're not exaggerating. It's it's big.
But
Oh my gosh.
we had a bunch of interactions, but
That we did.
there's a couple of the that we'll keep on the DL, but
Yeah.
um I'm attempting to go to Wilkesboro this weekend. I still have not heard. My birthday is actually on the Saturday of Wilkesboro weekend. My birthday always falls around All-Star weekend. Um, so I'm hoping that I get in. Like I really want to go because it's like kind of like a birthday tradition. Um, but Trucks and Cup are at North Wilkesboro. You have Indy 500 qualifying this weekend. And then also, um, I don't know if I ever say this right, but this is how I pronounce it. Emilia Romagna, um, in Italy, for Formula One, or you could also say Imola. That is also another, um, way that it is said. I think last year I wanted to attempt to go to Imola for my birthday weekend, but obviously it did not happen. I'm still here.
No,
Um,
really?
but yeah, so we have all three of the sports we cover. And now we just gotta make our picks. Um, Formula One, I'm definitely gonna say Lando Norris because um I want to say that's actually, is that where his first podium was? I know he's had a podium at um at Imola. Let me actually hold on. I'm curious about that. One second.
Brief pause. Birds. Chili.
So he has been on the podium in the last three finishes at Imola. 2021, he got a third. Um, 2022, he got also a third. 2024, he got second. So, definitely a Lando Norris and in my Imola picks. I don't know when they called it, but I'm pretty sure Franco Colapinto is replacing Jack Doohan. Somebody said that um the like Doofenshmirtz line, the um if I had a nickel for every time um Franco Colapinto replaced um one of my favorite drivers, I'd have two nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice because we know how that went with Logan Sargent. Um, so,
Sometimes I miss my Logie Bear sometimes.
um, I I'm gonna attempt a Pierre Gasly.
Oh, okay. You know, I'm also gonna go Lando, but I'm also gonna say probably Charles.
Okay. Now, for Indy qualifying, I guess we can just like say who we think's gonna get pole.
Joseph Newgarden.
Solid choice. I was gonna try Pato Award.
I, I love Pato.
Like, I would love to see Joseph Newgarden take a third consecutive Indy 500, but also the battle that Pato Award has put up for the Indy 500s, like, has
Oh
literally been
yeah,
insane. Like, I believe that he has worked so hard and does so well, and like, I feel like at some point he deserves it.
that's true. Last year the battle for it, insane. I
Yeah.
was like, holy cow. And
So let's look at the entry list for the truck race at
I know
Wilkesboro.
I know Sammy Boy is driving in trucks.
Yes, he will be in the seven. It is Brent Cruz that's going to be in the one truck for Tricon. To be
Yeah.
announced in the O2, also to be announced in the two truck. Norm Benning in the six, Kyle Busch in the O7, I always call him Taylor. Tyler Tomasi in the 22, Connor Jones in the 44, Luke Baldwin in the 66, Ryan Roulette in the 67, Patrick Emmerling in the 75, Justin Carroll. As much as I. Why isn't Brennan Queen running? Last year, he was literally insane. Oh, actually, I know my picks. Lane Riggs. I
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Lane Riggs.
I mean,
Corey
okay.
Heim. Corey
I'm like,
Corey said that he was gonna try to win on my birthday, so
I also was gonna say Corey because Corey literally won it last year.
yeah. He was fighting real hard with Brennan Queen and uh Lane Riggs.
Yeah. That one I didn't actually think through. Um, you know what? I'm gonna say something that's probably so out there. I don't normally say his name. I'm gonna go with the Daniel Hemrick.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
So
Dang.
North Wilkesboro is gonna be a little strange. Um, because they have um qualifying for the drivers that are already in the All-Star race, and then they have qualifying for the All-Star Open.
Yeah.
The All-Star Open is essentially heat races um, where you try to win your way into the All-Star race to race for the $1 million. So it's gonna be a little strange. Let's figure out how we want to do this. Okay, so I think we should pick the two drivers that we think are gonna win the heats, the opens, and then who's gonna win the fan vote, and then who's gonna win the actual All-Star race.
Oh god, so essentially we're picking four different people.
Yes. So,
But
um,
at least in the heat races, it kind of dumbs it down a little bit. Like some of the boys, it kind of dumbs it down a little bit.
yes, because it cuts out all the people that have already previously won. Like, I think they are still in it, but obviously the people who have previously won, they already have a spot in the All-Star race.
Yeah. Mm, jeez.
Dang. Okay, let's see. Chase Briscoe's already in it.
It's kind of hard to actually look at this list because it's literally giving everybody who's already won. So essentially, you have to think of everybody who hasn't won yet.
Yeah. Like Josh Berry won his way in to the race last year, but he's already won a race this season.
Don't remind me
So,
because I was there. That was disappointing on so many levels.
oh, that was Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah, stupid. That's what it was. Stupid.
I honestly, I think it's gonna be Noah Gragson that wins the fan vote.
I do too. I definitely know it's in between Noah and Carson, but I think it's gonna be Noah who wins the fan vote because his fans are kind of actually insane. Well, that one was the easy one. The
Yeah.
fan vote one.
Out of people who haven't won.
Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna say Todd for at least
You
one.
know? Yeah. Okay. I'm okay. You're probably not gonna like this one. Um,
Probably not. The way that you start it every time.
I'm I'm gonna say Bubba Wallace.
I mean, whatever.
Just based on if I remember correctly, in like a previous year, like he almost won his way into the All-Star race. He almost been the one to transfer.
That was literally last year. It was so close.
But I'm pretty sure it ended up being Josh Berry instead.
Yeah, it was. I
So
remember because I
I'm
was mad at the TV, but that's not anything new.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Um,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Bubba Wallace for one of mine, as winner of the heat race. Obviously we don't know who is in which heat race, so this could we could just end up
picking
picking
the
two of the
people that
same
are in the
people.
same.
Yeah, so this is just going based off guessing. Um,
Yeah, because we won't know the heat race until like after when they split them up. So
it's after
essentially, we could just be
qualifying.
picking. Yeah, essentially, we could just be picking the same people that are going to be in the same group.
I'm gonna go, I'm gonna try Ty Gibbs as the other.
That's a, I mean, that's a solid pick. I think I've only literally said one person, and it's freaking Vin Todd. You know what? Hmm, Choose. I'm gonna say Chris Buescher.
He's already in it.
Dang it! Frick, this is so hard. I don't know. Ah, wait. Oh, JK. I was looking at the wrong one. I don't know. Like, legitimately, I don't know.
Who knows? Carson might even be able to win his way in.
I was gonna say Carson. I was like, Carson probably, because, well, Carson will do what he has to do to win, to
Yeah.
make himself. We all know that. We all watched The Clash, right? Yeah, I'm gonna. Okay, let's see. Todd, Carson. Noah's gonna win the fan vote.
Now we
Or
just
wait,
gotta pick. Now we just gotta pick the winner. Who's gonna win the All-Star race?
I would. I
I
would
mean,
like to see. I don't know.
I want my boy Austin Cindric to win it, but it's most likely gonna be Kyle Larson running away with it again.
You know what?
It's either Joey or Larson.
I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say they're one of those two, even though I know it's probably gonna happen. I'm gonna try for an Alex Bowman All-Star win race.
That would literally be insane.
That's what I'm going with. I'm gonna manifest that right now that Alex Bowman is going to freaking win the All-Star race right here, right now, because that's what I want.
I would say you could attempt to say Harrison Burton, but look what equipment he's in.
Yeah, as much as I love Harrison Boy, I honestly I thought about saying him, but I'm like, yeah, that would actually
Was
be kind of funny.
wasn't it
That
the
would be,
one time you said his full name, he had went out and won Daytona?
yeah, it was. Literally, that freaking Daytona Coke 0400 one. I was like, Harrison Burton. And then he went out there and won it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Glad to know it just took me saying your entirety of your full name. Gosh.
Uh, I believe that is it. So we did our picks for the upcoming weekend. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna get out of here. Are you guys? Let's see. Are you ready? I gotta find mine. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I guess. I mean, oh god. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, we good.
Okay. It goes. Oh gosh, wait, hold on. I gotta say my whole like little outro thingy. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. However you enjoy our lovely podcast. This has been season 3, episode 14, of the swap
Wait.
of the Trackside Girls podcast. Um, and yeah, let's do this outro. It goes peace, love, and race cars. All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace out. Oh my gosh.